If you're taking notes, the third thing, if you're going to be transformed, you have to pray. So number one, you have to remember that who is leading? God is leading. Number two, don't complain. And number three, if you're going to be transformed, you have to pray when you encounter any problem. You see, some of us only pray when the problem is too large for us. And most of us have categorized our problems. We've categorized our problems into things that I can handle, things that I need a little bit of help with from family and friends, and these are the things that God can handle. But I'm saying to you, if you're going to be transformed, you got to pray about any problem you encounter. Look at verse 4. Exodus 17, look at verse 4. And it simply says, Moses cried unto the Lord. You see, Moses now did something that allowed God to go to work on his behalf. He prayed. And so if you're going to complain, if you think you have to complain, complain to God. Complain to God. You see, others around you will be grumbling and murmuring and quarreling and complain, but I want you to pray. You see, Ellen G. White says to us in Testimonies, Volume 4, page 143. Watch this now. Listen to this. She says, many of your afflictions. You with me now? She says, many of your afflictions have been visited upon you in the wisdom of God to bring you closer to the throne of grace. You didn't hear me. She's saying to us that in God's wisdom, He's allowing your current situation in your life, He's allowing the current conflict in your church because He wants you to pray. He's allowing this current conflict because He wants to bring you closer now to the throne of grace. He wants an improved relationship with you. And so I want you to pray. I want you to have enough faith that God can and that He will fix the problems in your church. I want you to understand that God can and He will fix the problems, the internal threats in your church, and He can stop the rigidness. He can stop the fighting. He can stop the cliques. Pray and have enough faith that God can and He will stop the infighting. Stop the mistrust. Stop the resentment. Stop the disagreements. I know you're tired of trying to get members to act right. So if the brother, listen to me, if the brother or sister won't listen to you, if the brother or sister won't talk to you, you talk to God. And so I want you to know that it is foolish. It is foolish to fight fire with fire and passion with passion. You didn't hear me. It is foolish to fight of passion with passion and fire with fire. And so, I'm not sure if any of you are friends with me on Facebook or you follow me on Facebook. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I post a quote, a prayer quote on Facebook. And someone had the audacity this week to try to start an argument with me on Facebook. But I'm telling you, you can't do what? Fight fire with fire, passion with passion. And so I just simply responded, hello, called them by name. Thank you for your comment. I ended it right there. And so you can't fight fire with fire or passion with passion. You got to pray. And so Moses, watch this now, Moses could not supply them with water. Neither could he quiet their anger. And so he did what? He prayed. And I'm saying to you this afternoon that you may not be the one who can address that cantankerous and that rebellious nature in that brother or sister. You may not be the one to be able to address them, but you can be the one to do what? To pray. And so we need to understand. We need to understand that all of heaven now responds when you and I pray. You see, when you pray, angels drop what they're doing to respond to your request. When you pray, God moves. And so if you don't hear anything else this weekend, if you don't hear anything else, I want you to hear this. I want you to get this. Get this. Get this. Wake anyone up sleeping next to you. Nudge them and tell them, wake up. You got to hear this. What is most important about this passage here in Exodus chapter 17, verses 1 through 7, is that Moses prayed. See, had he not prayed, we would have no miracle. You see, the miracle occurred only because of prayer. In other words, in like fashion, God will respond to your prayers in supernatural, unbelievable, and mind-boggling ways, but you have to pray. Water from a rock? Yes.